everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have not filmed a video in an embarrassingly long time, but I'm back. I'm showing you guys my everyday makeup. Today is a very requested video. I know usually YouTubers sort of do their intro with makeup on, but I feel like I can't do it. I can't just like start doing my makeup and then not intro the video. So welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for all your patience. I'm gonna be a lot more consistent. I know I've said it 600 times, so let me just show you. To begin, I take these like alligator clip situations. They're actually not very good. They're from Sephora. They don't really hold the hair, if we're being honest here, but I feel like it makes me look like a professional makeup artist, so that's what I'm doing. For the most part, these are the products that I use every single day. Of course, I do try new products. Sometimes I use a different foundation or a different concealer, but I'm gonna show you what I use the most because it's my everyday makeup video. It makes the most sense. First things first, skincare, you guys already know, is a huge part of my routine. I really believe that without proper skincare, taking good care of your skin, makeup just doesn't go on the same. I also am someone who doesn't want to wear heavy amounts of makeup. I want you to be able to see my skin. I work really hard at it. With that being said, probably the most important step in my skincare routine is SPF. Currently, I'm using the Elta MD Clear. Loving this SPF because it has niacinamide in it, which really helps with pigmentation. So if you're someone like me who goes in the sun and tends to get dark spots, or who has hyperpigmentation or acne scars, this is gonna help lighten it and also just protect you from the sun. It's an SPF 46. I put it on every single morning and then I touch up with a powder that I'll show you at the end. It's already on my face right now because I was already doing things before filming this video, but basically I take a little pump of this. I mix in some of the Drunk Elephant Deep Bronzy, which I love, which just gives me a little bit more of a tan because my body is always spray tan, but I don't spray tan my face. So it just evens everything out. And let's get going. I'm gonna take these out. I'm trying to look pro, but they're just not doing anything for my hair, so I'm just gonna put a hair clip in. So I will preface this video by saying that I'm not a makeup artist, not a pro, but we figure it out. So I always start with, like I said, the SPF. It's a little bit of a base, and then I do foundation. My favorite foundation, it has been for a really long time, is the Oxygenetics foundation. It's super breathable. It's pretty much natural. It does have a little bit of dimethicone in it, which is a silicone, but it's the last ingredient, so it's a very little. And to be honest, I just find any foundation that doesn't have a little bit of silicone just doesn't really stay on or do that much. So, you know, I do like to lean a little more toward natural. I'm 100% not full clean beauty at all, but this is a very breathable formula. It was formulated by a plastic surgeon who basically wanted to give their clients, after Fraxel treatments or laser treatments, some sort of coverage so that they could walk out and not look crazy. So it actually helps repair the skin. It's super breathable, aloe based, and it gives good coverage. It's about medium coverage. I wouldn't say it's full, but it's buildable. So the way I do it is I take this, I take about like a little bit more than a pump. This is in color beige. And I take a little bit of this Kevin Aucoin Glass Glow Face. Guys, I'm obsessed with this. I pretty much do this every day now. Take a tiny pump of the Kevin Aucoin Glass Glow. It's like a see-through-y, just makes your skin look really dewy. If you guys are more of like matte makeup lovers, there's a good chance that the makeup that I use might not be the makeup for you because I really love a dewy, glowy look. So I kind of just blend it out on my hand and I make little dots all over my face. And let's keep in mind that my SPF that I already put on has a little bit of coverage, like not much. On like a day where, you know, I want to wear a little bit of makeup to the gym, this foundation is great for that because it really, you know, gives you minimal coverage. Doesn't look like you're wearing like caked on makeup, but it's also breathable and it won't make you break out. So for anyone who does get congested skin, for anyone who, you know, gets breakouts or is worried about wearing, you know, heavy non-breathable makeup, this is a really great option for you. So sometimes I just do it with my fingers. As you see, I just keep warming it up and rubbing it in. And then sometimes I will use a foundation brush. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH03 brush, and I'll just blend it out with this I used to always use like a beauty blender or a makeup sponge, but I found it would take off so much of my product, and I will use the sponge later on in this tutorial, but I just like using the brush. I find it makes it really natural, really like flawless. And so there you go. So as you can see, it gives you nice coverage, not cakey. A foundation that I find similar to this one that is a little less natural and a tiny little bit more coverage is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. This foundation is really, really similar in texture and feel. So I switch back and forth. For the most part, it's Oxygenetics on the day-to-day, but then I am loving the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation recently, and it also has extra SPF in here. By the way, the Oxygenetics, they don't display it, which I don't know why, but it actually also has SPF 25 in it, so that's always an added bonus. Okay, so now I have my base, I have my foundation on. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on a little bit of concealer. So for the most part, my skin is in pretty good condition, but I do have, you know, little pigmentation spots. If I have, like, this is a little leftover pimple. We all have our shit, so we gotta cover it up. So there's a few different concealers that I love. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm gonna show you the things that I use the most. So first of all, the Josie Maran Vibrancy Concealer is one of my absolute favorite concealers. Again, clean beauty, super anti-inflammatory with the argan oil in it. If you're someone who has really puffy eyes or dark circles, this is awesome because it's actually gonna reduce inflammation. So I don't use much of this under my eyes because I don't really have such dark circles. I use another product. I use this on my face to just spot correct. So I'll go over any dark spots I have. Mainly my problem area is here. So I'll take the actual, do you call this a wand or a spoolie? I don't know. And I'll just spot correct, go over any pimples, any extra imperfections. I don't do the whole like bake, brighten, whatever thing, you know, just go wild. So then I'm gonna take a wet beauty blender. This is a Real Techniques, but a wet makeup sponge. And by the way, if you don't do it wet, it's just not the same. It just doesn't blend out the same. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to use that and blend out that concealer and just tap it really lightly into the skin because you don't wanna rub it off. And look, it's like magic. It's gone. All my pigmentation. I shouldn't whisper, all the pigmentation kind of just disappears. And I will say that it stays on pretty well. This is a medium to full coverage concealer. I do find that like if at the end of the day I'm going to do something else, I do need a touch up for sure. But it works really well. Underneath my eyes, I use the Kaja Catnap. It's more of a peach toned, lightweight concealer. I really like this because I used to always just put concealer under my eyes, but to be honest, I don't really need it. Some of us do, some of us don't. Obviously, if I'm getting more made up, I will put concealer under my eye, but what I really like and what I really want to achieve under my eye is brightness. So I found this product, it's really peach tone, so I'll just go in and dot myself up. So I use this peach tone under the eye, which is really gonna brighten up my under eye. And again, I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and just blend it out. And I kind of pull it into the corner to really brighten up and open up my eye a bit. And I take it as close to the lash line as possible. And I have a little trick I'm gonna show you guys after, but something I'm guilty of and often forget to do is my my eyelid, and then I find that it looks really red sometimes, especially when I'm like filming myself on Instagram. Sometimes people are like, what's that eyeshadow? I'm like, oh, it's called I didn't put concealer on my eyelid, you know? So what I'll do after is I'll take another concealer. This is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Concealer in color 3N. This is a fantastic concealer. What I'll do with this is I put it at the corner of my eye, and I'm gonna give you a little tip with this, just at the corner here. And then I'll put a little just on my lid, because here I do need a little more coverage because I do get redder on the eyelids. Then I take a brush. I'll take this Jaclyn Hill JH08 little brush, and what I'll do is I'll hold my eye and I'll take the concealer and I'll literally push it into that end crease and kind of lift my eye with it. And I want to show you the difference of what my eyes look like now. This one is a little bit more like lifted cat eye vibe. It just kind of lifts the eye up. I think I saw Desi Perkins do it once, and then I always do it. I don't know why, I just find it makes such a nice difference. And then blend out the lid so I don't have red lids and people don't think I'm wearing red eyeshadow, because I'm not. And then I have lash extensions, so I'll take my little lash spoolie and just even everything out. Fix up those brows. Okay, on to the next step. I put on a little bit of bronzer. I'm loving the Laura Mercier Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder. Again, I take my Jaclyn Hill JH02 bronzer brush, just tap it in, and I kind of just go for a number 3, and I go down the side of my neck. I'm not like an everyday contour girl, but I'll just go over my jawline, a little here, a little there, and a bit down the nose. So basically all over my face, you know? I really just try to avoid with bronzer this area, because when you do lie in the sun naturally, you kind of shadow and you don't get sun here. So you want to avoid that area. And then next thing I will do is I take my blush. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Beach Stick in color Las Salinas. It's more of like a bright pink. I take my 204 brush from Sephora, the Shape and Highlight brush. I love this brush. And I take it on the highlight side, and I don't highlight with it. I put on blush. So I'll just dab a little bit of the blush here, and it's like such a perfect, pretty blush color. And then this trick I love. So I'll take it, and you don't want to put it all the way down your nose, just in the center. And it looks really natural and really like you got some sun, you know? The last thing that I do is I go back to my Kevyn Aucoin Glass Glow, and this one is in Crystal Clear. I also have it in the bronze and the rose. This is probably the one I use most on the day-to-day because it's really, really natural. You don't really see much color. Take a little tiny dab of it, and I just put it right here to highlight my cheekbone, and then I just warm it up with my full hand and just bring it onto the cheek, a little bit around here, and it just gives you a really nice, natural, dewy, sort of like wet looking highlight. And then with whatever's left, I just go down my nose a bit. And if you want to put it here, you can, you know. By the way, all the products I've mentioned in this video are used. I will link in the description on the video. Last but not least, I am not a big brow filling person. I have pretty full brows. I don't do microblading and anything, but I do like to keep my brows in line and intact because they are quite full. This is the Clear Brow Gel by Anastasia, I don't know, Beverly Hills. Literally just a clear gel, and I'll just sort of keep my brows in place. Comme ça. That means like that in French. Last but not least, it's really on its last leg, but this is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. It's really like my go-to. Put on a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, and then I top it with the Patrick Ta Major Glow Lip Gloss. You guys already know, if you watch me, that my favorite gloss is Buxom Dolly, but this is what I do every day at my actual makeup station. And I just add some of this, and then I got all glossed up, and you know I don't go anywhere without my gloss. And the last step, and this is something I always do and will always do, is use a setting mist, and I use it in a dewier texture. I know a lot of people use powders. A lot of times people are like, how do you not set your makeup? How does it not transfer? I don't know. It doesn't really, I guess I don't really touch much. but this is probably my favorite one. This is the Luminous Dewy Skin Mist by Tatcha. We all know it, it's all popular. I just saw that they're coming out with one called like the Silk Mist, which I'm so excited for. Other ones that I love, this is the Ciate Dewy Mist. It's awesome. Has hyaluronic acid and green tea, and it really works well. And then also the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dewy Set, also a great dewy mist. So these three are really the ones that are in my everyday rotation. And that is my everyday makeup. This is what I put on my face every day. When I'm not chit-chatting, it literally takes me 5 minutes and it stays on all day really, really well. It's not fully natural, but it's more on the clean side. It's 50-50. Let's not push it. It's 50-50. But one day maybe I'll get there with the clean beauty. I hope you guys like this video. If you want to see more makeup videos or different makeup looks, you guys can leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys probably next time.